Beef producers are constantly looking for new ways to capture more margin, driven by this growing demand for beef. And I'm standing now with someone who has a business model to do just that, Jojo Corrales of HeartBrand Beef. Jojo, thanks for giving us some time today.
Yeah, Kevin, good to be here.
What do you see as some of the key issues and trends that are going to be shaping the beef industry over the next 10 years?
So I agree the demand is very good in the beef industry, and I think when we look at our beef end user, the customer, of what they're wanting, so they're wanting a consistent, high quality product, and they're wanting more transparency of the brands that they're buying. So I think you can see that the trends and the growing trends of being in the grocery store, and more of the products have more of a story to them. So they want to know how they were raised, they want to know what they were fed, and in our case, they want to know what kind of animal it's coming from. So we DNA verify these cattle to ensure the breed that we're selling, and obviously the quality that goes into it as well.
And I know one of the frustrations that cattle producers have, particularly cow-calf operators and so forth, is they see these exceptionally high retail prices, don't feel like they're getting their fair share, so to speak, of that retail value. You all have a business model that does that. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I think that's a good subject, and as commercial cattlemen, I think we've got to also realize that the margins aren't always that big. We know that, but in this past few years and trends, the commercial cattlemen are wanting to know, how do I get a little bit more of that? And I really see more cooperatives, more beef alliances coming together, and we got to realize there's power in numbers. So the HeartBrand model of having the DNA verified Akaushi cattle that come into our program, the producer is getting more margin off of those calves for changing what he does. So we see our beef customer wanting more of it, and so by being able to kind of share into some of that growth, they're able to increase their bottom line for kind of being involved in a group.
You mentioned customers, and you have lots of interaction with direct customers. I'm curious, how are the customer needs and preferences and attitudes towards beef production changing how you market your beef?
So I think when you look at marketing, right, which is a big thing when it comes into a branded program and our whole industry as a whole, we think that we want to show them more of what we do. We need to be proud of what we're doing, and I've seen that also in other animal proteins like dairy and chicken, where they're showing more in their national media. They're bringing the end user into their farm. And we do that very physical, is we bring truckloads and bus loads of people from Austin, San Antonio, in food and beverage departments and distributors and restaurants that we're using, and we bring them to the ranch. We'll have a picnic out there, we'll have them on a hayride, and we want to get all those questions for them because we're very proud of how we raise our cattle. And I think most of the cattlemen in the United States do a very good job. Our practices, I think, are very good. We're the biggest beef country in the world, and we need to be proud of that. So I think we need to do a better job in showing them exactly what we do and why, and I think they're going to be more comfortable with what they're buying.
I agree, and speaking of being proud of what you do, if I'm not mistaken, you are all one of the top 25 seed stock producers in the United States now. Tell me how you've achieved that and what that means for cow-calf producers.
Yeah, Kevin, that's something that our whole cattle team takes a lot of pride in, is being in the top 25 in NCBA, and I believe in the top 50 or 45 in beef magazines, top seed stock producers. So what that means is we sell a lot of bulls and a lot of cows, and one of the reasons that it brings us, I guess, a lot of pride is now we've done that for many years. So that's showing that it's not just a marketing, it's not just a story, but this is something that works for producers all over the world and all over the country, is using these Akaushi genetics in whichever way profits them best. So if they're feeding them out to very high levels of prime, or they're selling them back into our HeartBrand Beef buyback program for a premium, or they might be selling locally in their own specialty feeding system. Where I'm going with that is they really have seen their bottom line increase because of the Akaushi genetics, and they've tested the bulls and semen in their environment, and it's worked for them. So that's something that me and you talked last time. We realize we give a premium, but you can't take a step back in terms of gain, efficiencies, fertility, feet and legs. All of those have to be just as good, if not better. So that premium is a real net profit over what they're selling their cattle for now.
There's no doubt about it. There's never been more of a demand for high-quality beef like you all are known for producing. And if you want to learn more about the Akaushi breed or HeartBrand beef itself, you can visit heartbrandbeef.com.